So today we're going to get a little bit deeper into ABA, and I'd love to help you guys discover all the ways that you're already using ABA strategies in your life. So first, let's think about you as a person, as an adult, as an individual. What are some things you might do that are ABA strategies? So I want you to think about the things that you might do before the day before you go to work. So you might lay out your clothes so that they're ready, or iron them so that they're ready. Maybe you pack your lunch so that it's ready for the next day. Maybe you get your coffee mug out, set it at the coffee pot, or you prepare the coffee ahead of time so that it goes off on a timer and it's ready when you wake up. And that's the first thing you smell. Why do you do those things? You are making little changes in your environment to make your experience the next morning a little bit easier and a little bit faster for you. Okay, so you're making manipulations to your environment that are going to make your task the next morning either more desirable, quicker, or easier. Okay, that's an ABA strategy. So I also want you to think about you just decided that every closet in the house needs to be reorganized, right? Ugh, I'm just going to cover up my head, go back to bed, and not deal with that. But if I break it down and say, okay, in the morning, I'll do this closet. In the afternoon, I'll do this closet. Tomorrow, I'll do that third closet. So what did you do? Okay, so you broke up your schedule and your task so that you didn't get fully overwhelmed by that, right? That's an ABA strategy. That's something we do in ABA. Let's think about something else. Let's say you spent the entire day doing yard work in the hot sun, right? Something you don't necessarily love. How did you motivate yourself to do that? So I'm going to give you one of my strategies, and I'm pretty certain other people do the same thing. So I remind myself throughout the day, either when I'm done or after a certain amount of time, I'm going to reward myself with a Dr. Pepper with lots of ice. Or I'm going to reward myself with a Slurpee from the store. Or maybe I'm going to reward myself with a big giant bowl of ice cream. Okay, it's going to cool me down and it's going to make me feel good because I really love those things. Those are so delicious. So as I'm working throughout the day, I'm looking forward to that. I cannot wait for that. That's an ABA strategy. And that propels me through my tasks that I really don't like, but I know I need to do. Okay, is that being mean to myself? No, that's actually being quite wonderful to myself because I'm rewarding myself when I'm done. Now, next weekend, when it's hot again and there's one more task outside, I might be a little more willing to do it because I know when I'm done, I can treat myself. That's an ABA strategy. So I want you to think about raising children, okay? And right now we're going to just talk about very typically developing children, okay? So I want you to think about when your baby was, I don't know, 6 months old, 7 months old, and you start, mama, probably started way before that, but you really start honing in, trying to get your infant to say mama, right? Any noise that comes out of your baby's mouth, you're going to celebrate like if that was mama. If she said, you're going to say, oh, and then maybe 2 weeks later, you get, ma. You're celebrating that. You are giving your baby lots of attention and showing her that when she makes those sounds, you are so excited and you're giving lots of attention until one day your baby says mama. Okay, that is an ABA strategy. We use that. Okay, I also want you to think about when you teach your toddler to your, actually it's your infant, I guess, to walk. What do? Well, first, you're just going to have your baby stand up on their legs, right? Are you being mean to them? No, you're trying to encourage independence in your child and also help them to be able to move around in their environment so they can experience all the different things that are in their environment. So then the next thing may be that you stand them up and you hold them by the waist, but you let them stand up on the floor. Then you might put them and have them stand up holding on to the sofa or the coffee table. The next step may be that you take their little hands, you take your fingers in their hands and you have them walk around. That's an ABA strategy. One day, not that same day, but one day, could be months later, your baby is walking on their own. You use some ABA strategies for that to happen. Okay. I also want you to think about potty training. I want you to think about cleaning up, all the things that you teach your child to do from infancy on. You are using some ABA strategies. So when someone tells you that ABA is something that's awful and harmful, I also want you to think about all the things that we talked about today that you as a human being do to help yourself either remember, make a task easier, make a task less aversive or less, oh, I don't want to do it. I want you to think about those things. I also want you to think about a typically developing child and all the things that we do to help those children learn. And I want you to think, am I doing something that is harmful to that child? Am I doing something that's harmful to me? So ABA in and of itself and the strategies that we use are not harmful. They actually are something that can help a person to experience their life more fully, be able to learn new skills, and be able to become more independent in their life. So ABA is something that can support any person, any age, in learning new skills and being able to be more independent. I hope you learned a little more about ABA today.